damn, man, mosquitoes and shit. So I don't know what was going on with the connection. Hopefully we can hold the connection. Come here. Come here. Come here. But yeah, let's talk about Kansas City. Um, sorry, buddy. They choosing to play their starters Saturday. Um, they gonna play them through the first half. So they suffered one injury I can think of, and that was to Marquise Hollywood Brown. So yeah, he over there. He hurt his shoulder, but he should be able to come back. But I guess they want to find some continuity. Rasheed Rice, he had the whole car situation with the car accident. He ain't been suspended yet, so I don't know what's kind of going on with him. So yeah, he ain't been suspended yet. So uh, but as far as the Lions, I'm not sure. I haven't looked, but last time I looked, they haven't they haven't said whether or not they playing their starters or not. So we simply just don't know. All right. So so I'm not sure if they gonna play their starters, but really, their defensive backfield is pretty. Uh, uh-uh. Be quiet. Come on. But yeah, their defensive backfield is hit at the corner, so you won't see Carlton hamstring, Terrion chest, and Rackshaw got a mild ankle sprain. So then you roughly 3 weeks out from from the season. So I mean they got enough time to heal and all that type of stuff. So I wouldn't really be too concerned about those guys coming back. Carlton Davis gonna miss games. That's what his history say. So if he gonna miss games in the contract year, that's just cause you just be still. My dog is just woo. He cruising for the be rehomed at this point. But that's just who he is. But I mean, to be honest, Kansas City must feel like they need to get some continuity. I don't know. I don't know if they believe in joint practices, so I can't really say. But it'll be an Arrowhead, and then on top of that, they're gonna be in Arrowhead for a month. So Miles, they're gonna be in Arrowhead for a month. So they got 2 preseason games in Arrowhead. They got the bye week before the season, by over a month. Then their first 2 home games is at home. So they're gonna be in Kansas City for 5 straight weeks. So that's just how the schedule laid down for the champs. But honestly, um, you'll see Kelsey, you'll see probably Rice, you'll see Xavier Worthy. I think the first round pick out of Texas. Um, he had that viral video getting laid out in practice. So to be honest, I mean, it's gonna be fans that say, well, they don't play preseason, they come out slow versus the Rams. Was Matthew Stafford just suffered a mild injury? I forget what it was, and they come out against the Rams and they come out a little shaky or whatever. And that be people say, oh, so you should have played preseason. Somebody come out there and get injured. Somebody come out there and get injured. Oh, you shouldn't have played preseason. You're damn if you do, damn if you don't. It's the same thing. Kicking the field goals and going for it. If the you know, if Badgley missed the kick, I mean, if they kicked the ball in the NFC Championship game and Badgley missed it, people would have been like, oh, they should have went for it. You already know how it go. Come here. We know exactly how it go. So you do what's best from a coach's perspective. And to be honest, I don't think Goff played preseason last year, and they was just fine. Him and J-Mo starting to click. I'm concerned about the receiving core, but then again, that just means that they're going to be a little bit harder to defend because that means they probably going to keep an extra tight end. But that's just for later in the video. So to be honest, it don't really matter. I think it's a good and it's bad. The good about it is you get to see the corners. You get to see a lot of them young corners get a chance. Vidor, Stephen Gilmore. They brought a kid in from the Jets who can run. So a lot of these corners are going to get a true opportunity to show versus number one receivers. And a lot of them linebackers going to get a chance to show versus, Travis Kelce and some of them backs. They're going to get a chance to show what they can do. So Gilbert, the linebacker, going to get a great opportunity to really show his teeth out there. Gilmore, who missed a lot of last season, stop. Is gonna get an opportunity. Stop playing with me. I'm not playing. Come on. He gonna get a chance to show his teeth. He just being bad, you know. So yeah, he gonna get an opportunity to show what he can do. So um, I like it. Will I go as far as playing J-Mo, St. Brown? If I play one of them, then I'm gonna play all. But the running backs, I always felt like they shouldn't even play the running backs in preseason. They take enough hits in the regular season. Most likely they've been playing running backs their whole life. So we get a chance to see the Vacky kid. We've seen enough of Reynolds. I mean, Reynolds can get some run, I guess. But Vaddy, Zaven Knight, it's time to see them kind of shine a little bit as well too. So I'm fine with it. Hendon Hooker should start. If he willing, able, and healthy, I know he back in practice. That don't mean he willing, able, and healthy. But I would just like to see, people trying to make the team. This is really the rehearsal. This is the game to make the team. If you're on the bubble or you're off the bubble, you can instantly make the team in a game where you playing against the starters. So guys like Donovan Peoples-Jones, who probably he gonna make the cut just based off his reputation, his versatility as a receiver and a return guy, he probably gonna make it. He probably gonna make it. So, but good for him to get some reps out there with Hendon Hooker. So, come on. So it's gonna be good to see him get some reps out there. So, come on. So yeah, it'd be good to get him some reps, and yeah, it'd be good to see him get some reps or whatever. So, but nonetheless, I was, if they choose to play the starters, that's good. You know, get a rhythm going or whatever. But if they don't, if they do and somebody get injured, that's all you're gonna hear. So, but obviously you won't see the starting three DBs. I mean, you'll see Amick. You might see Amick. I wouldn't even play Amick Roberts. You know what he gonna do. So it ain't even. I wouldn't play the safeties. Anybody that's important, Branch, FA, um, Joseph, Brent. None of them. Amick. None of them would play, in my opinion. Yeah, I wouldn't play none of them. No, sorry, Bob. None of them would get no play. They know what they need to do, because if I'm not gonna have my two starting outside corners, what's the point of building any more continuity? It makes no sense. They not out there. Joseph and F.A. Melifanu and Branch, they played together before. Now Branch ain't played a lot of safety. That's what we can say. Branch has been a little bit immune to playing safety, but I think he fit right in. Nickel, in my opinion, is harder to play than safety. So that's my opinion. My opinion. Safety is pretty much easy if you got eye discipline and you got discipline in general. Branskin, he can guard tight ends. He can fill the box. He can blitz off the edge. So, you know, he could do a lot of different things. So at safety, he gonna be more effective, and it's an easier position for him to play. Ask him to guard slot receivers. He did a phenomenal job filling in the run. He did a phenomenal job. So, yeah, my starting two corners ain't gonna be out there. My starting nickel ain't gonna be out there, and my starting safeties ain't gonna be out there. So Brandon Joseph, C.J. Moore, them type of dudes, they can go out there and they can get the job done. So it should be Hendon Hooker, in my opinion, all four quarters. And if he can't stay healthy this game, you definitely got to bring in a respectable quarterback. I don't need to see no more Jake Fromm. I've seen enough at Georgia. They chose Jake Fromm over Justin Fields. So, I mean, he sucked. Georgia could probably be had 3 or 4 national championships had they not played the politics. Let's be real. Had that been Ohio State, Jake Fromm would have been gone, and Justin Fields would have been in. So that's just the God honest truth. But Kansas City, you gonna get a chance to see Gilmore. A lot of them guys. Somebody gonna make a name. Gilbert, Gilmore, Vidor. Somebody gonna make a name for themselves out there. You probably gonna see a lot of Anazorki, a lot of Pascal. They still number 2 on the depth chart. Even DJ Reader ain't played and may not be ready for the season. in my opinion, I feel like you know, this is probably going to rub some people the wrong way. I feel like if Anazor can stay healthy, he a better fit next to Lee McNeil than DJ Reader. You know, and that's just my opinion. Because they need more of a penetrator than another run stopper. You know, penetration stops everything. That's what they was missing. You know, and no matter where it was coming from the edge or the inside, no diddy. They needed somebody that was going to penetrate the pocket. DJ Reader is more of a blocker. You know, Roger Martin is more of a blocker. They gonna just, you know, eat up space and you know all that type of stuff. Them type of dudes are good for rundowns and they good for eating up multiple blockers where you can get your true rushers. When I look at Anazorki, when he healthy, it ain't really no weakness in his game. He can stop the run. He can rush the passer from the inside and outside. He remind you of Aiden Hutchinson, inside outside, however you want it. But the difference is he just as good. He really great on the inside. Hutch is great on the outside. You know, and we gonna see what type of player he is on the inside. So you'll see a bunch of Hutch. You'll probably see a bunch of Pascal. Really, I don't need to see much of Lee McNeil. Obviously, you won't see DJ Reader. I don't need to see Aiden Hutchinson in a game like this, to be honest. So yeah, I don't really need to see a lot of these guys. They know what they need to do. In college, they don't do no preseason games. You know, and some of them colleges hit that. They hit that schedule tough. Everybody ain't playing Fresno State. Everybody ain't playing Get Back State or Get Back A&M. No, they playing real teams. You know, some of these teams out here they hitting the road. So whatever college doing to prep their teams for game one, and I kind of always felt mad like if you lost a game early in game one, you can think about it, NFL had four piece of season games. Now they got three. Think about it. In college, if you lost back in the BCS era, or shit, even in the 4-game playoff era, if you lost one game, it was over with. You know, if you lost one game early, you was eliminated. Even if you went on to beat the number 1, 2, 3 team in the nation, or number one team in the nation, they still will hold that one loss you had against you, which to me was ludicrous, honestly. You know, so that's why I kind of like the playoffs where you got 12 really good teams, vying for it. So I think that's a little bit more fair. I don't need to see more than 12 though. You know, I don't need to see more than 12. You know, that's cool with me. 8 is solid, you know. But yeah, you look at what college did, and they take a lot of shit from college. So whatever college do to prep their teams to be ready for the season, especially the teams that go in and hit the ground running, and they playing hellified teams early on, that's what you need to adopt. If it's more scrimmages, come here, come here, come here. If it's more scrimmages, sit. Oh, pretty good. Come on. If it's more scrimmages, if it's more, whatever it is. I'm not sure if Kansas City did a joint practice, so I can't really tell. Maybe they say, you know what, we not about to compromise somebody trying to take out Patrick Mahomes or take out Kelsey Nee, so we not gonna do no practices. We just gonna play our starters Saturday versus Detroit Lions in the dress rehearsal. Back in the day, the third game in the 4 preseason season era was the dress rehearsal. Really, the Lions didn't partake in that last year, so it worked out for them. You know, they did a joint practice. It's not the same thing as live game practice, but whatever college is doing to preserve their players and warm their players up to get ready for the season without a preseason, I think NFL should adopt that. But they stole a lot of stuff. The spread offense. Remember they stole the option, the wildcat, the offense that you see now that's predominantly ran in NFL. That was stolen from that was stolen from college. The RPOs, college. And to be honest, some of them probably stole that shit from high school. So you'll be surprised. Why you just I gotta go left, you gotta go right. Boy. But other than that, yeah, I mean, me personally, whatever they feel comfortable with, I would just say, whatever you did last year, which I don't think they played golf last year, they played J-Mo because he was going to be suspended. So that's why they played J-Mo last year, because of a suspension. It's about to rain and he out here bullshitting. Literally. And this dog hate water. But to talk about Kansas City though, but they can get a lot of experience out there from young guys. So if some of them young guys are able to play with some of their starters and hold their own, um, they're gonna make the team. I mean, it's the biggest game for guys like Hendon Hooker, Donovan Peoples-Jones, the linebacker Gilbert. This is a huge game for them. This is a huge game for them. This is epic. Come on, man. This is epic for them. But let me see what y'all seeing. It was my connection. He said the Falcons signed Simmons and Judon, two people I wanted for Detroit. Well, it really wasn't no space for Simmons. I don't know what was wrong with him. He played pretty well last year, I thought, for Denver on the outside looking in. So I don't know what was wrong with was Justin Simmons. Is it Justin Simmons or Jonathan Simmons, the safety? We didn't need him, but Matt Judon, local guy from Yaktown, yeah, I think went to Grand Valley or Saginaw Valley. We needed him. We needed him bad. And for a third round pick, they said the Lions didn't have a third round pick. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure you could have threw something together. But maybe they felt like he wasn't a culture fit. From what I'm hearing, stop playing with me. I ain't gonna say it again. Come on. You keep playing with me. I'm not playing with you today. You're gonna find yourself at the dog pound, unfortunately, for you. Go. Come on. I'm not playing with this animal. I will drop you off at the dog pound. Is Jake Fromm playing with Hendon? I hope not. He ass. But shout out to the ones. He said you heard it cheaply. Yep, that's what I'm talking about now. Mike CJ, he said I think the line secondary gonna lead the league in interceptions. You can never tell that, to be honest. Interceptions is a lucky ass stat as a team stat. So I don't know. Rackstraw didn't get many interceptions at Missouri. He catching hella 5 interceptions in camp. So it's a good opportunity to evaluate talent against the first string. Yeah, yep. It's an excellent opportunity. So I think for the Lions, I think it's good. So see who can play and who can't play. So I wouldn't play Amick though. He get injured, then you're gonna have to pretty much, either Rackstraw got to go to the nickel and he not used to playing the nickel, or you're gonna have to move Branch back to the nickel and put FA back at safety. I mean, you got the versatility, but you don't want to test it. You bought Amick Roberts, he brings too much to the table. If Terrion or Carlton Davis, which is guaranteed he gonna get injured, Amick Roberts your next corner on the outside end. So you don't want to use him. So I just think you pretty much need a guy like Amick Roberts. He too valuable to be out there and possibly get hurt. You gotta remember he a nickel and stop. Come here. He a nickel and he a backup 1 and 2, not backup number 1's corner. So yeah, it's too much value there for him to get hurt. Too much value. So some guys you don't play with. Branch, Kirby Joseph already got a hip injury. I don't even know if he returned to camp yet, so I can't speak on that. But yeah, it's too much value right there in my opinion. Come here. Yeah, it's too much value. Yeah, I don't think you play with that. But as far as the receiver problem, yep, Brad Holmes. I mean, everybody's seen it. He the one that was on 97 won the ticket, talking about he believed in the receiving core. He believed in Antoine Green, and they were seeing things. They were seeing things from Antoine Green, and last year that we didn't see, and that motherfucker gone now. He gone. He long gone. Me love you a long time. He gone. Amick Roberts is gone. And old Yellow ain't coming back. So he gone. So when we start talking about Amick Roberts and all that type of shit, he out of there. He is out of there. So, not Amick, I'm talking about Antoine Green, and then Donovan Peoples-Jones ain't did a damn thing. He ain't did nothing. So he said they didn't have a receiver problem, and it don't seem like he on the phone trying to make something happen for receiver. So they said on Twitter that Mike Thomas ain't even got a phone call. They said he ain't even got a phone call. I ain't going that way. Come on. He said Mike Thomas ain't even got a phone call. So I don't know about Hunter Renfrow or Juju Smith-Schuster, but you know how they do it. Last time they had a need for receiver, he hustled up and got Trinity Benson and gave up absolutely too much, and he did absolutely nothing. He absolutely did nothing. So I don't even really understand that part of it. He gonna wait till the last minute again to get a receiver, and it's gonna be somebody who gonna do absolutely jack shit. That's just one of Brad Holmes' downfall. Like guys that had injury histories, and he like waiting when it's too late to fill a need. He want, and I don't know what his problem is. You got money. It ain't like you a middle of the road team on paper. You know, you a team that maybe need a little oomph to make sure you put yourself over the top. Because when you look at Philly, man, Philly made some major moves, man. You know, new offensive coordinator, Saquon Barkley. Um, they added somebody else too. They had a few other people. So, you know, so Matt Judon would have been a good look, and maybe they tried to come to a number with him. It didn't work. Maybe they like, fuck it. We like what we got. But James Houston, he ain't doing nothing. And then also the kid from the Canadian Football League, he didn't get into the game until the third quarter last week. So I don't know what all this about. So hopefully Saturday, because he took a non-guaranteed contract over a guaranteed contract. So hopefully Saturday, he able to separate himself and do some things in the NFL and able to do something. But to be honest, as far as that receiving core, Brad Holmes, that's gonna be where they lack at. That's gonna be where they lack at. So, if he get on the Ayuk, and the Lions ain't never get it. Like, no matter how good they get, the Lions they ain't never going to put themselves in position to acquire anybody that y'all deem as a really, really good player or a great player. It ain't gonna never happen. It's just never. Come on. It's just never gonna happen. That's not their MO. They have a marginal mindset. We gotta, this is an underrated player. We're gonna get the most out of the underrated player. They're just not gonna get a top target or somebody you deem respectable. They're gonna try to go out there, find a Trinity Benson, find a bum ass nigga to come in there, and what's gonna happen is this: they receiving core is gonna get injured, and they gonna be shuffling out here for bum ass receivers. I'm telling y'all this right now. This is what happens. This is exactly what happens. When you go out here and you got a position that you thin at and you don't fulfill it, shut up. Come on. When you don't fulfill that position, shut up. Shut up. Come on. You don't fill that position, you be mad. It's gonna be injury plagued. And he act like he don't see that. When he first got here, the receiver position was thin. We all knew that. Tyrell Williams went down in like the first half of that game. Then he rushed to try to go. He rushed to get Trinity Benson before that, and it was a wrap. They luckily got Josh Reynolds, or they probably wouldn't have won the game. He knows Jared Goff got a tough time breaking in new receivers. Josh Reynolds was the exception because he played with Josh Reynolds before. So he got a tough time breaking in new receivers. So I don't understand when you got the ass, you got the money, and like last year, DeAndre Hopkins want to be in Detroit. Why not fucking sign him? Why not sign him? It don't hurt nothing. You're not about to break the bank on the man. The man still can play. We've seen it last year. I know he got injured this training camp for 4 to 6 weeks, but shit, he'd be back in the beginning of the season. I think the brother Zay Jones still out there. I like Zay Jones or not. That'd be a nice little third receiver. Zay Jones, Somebody like that. So, maybe you call the Giants and get Sterling Shepard. You know, but for you not to even see what Juju Smith-Schuster on or Michael Thomas on, and you just to sit there and wait for something to happen, ain't shit gonna happen in that receiving core. You can't trust the health of Jamison Williams. And St. Brown is, he gonna be, but that's one guy. That's one guy. St. Brown is one guy. And that's what you hinge your receiver on. Khalif Raymond is not a reliable. He was on that receiving core that was struggling in the first year he got here. He's a good gadget guy. You know, he's a good gadget guy. That's about it. So you need somebody else is respectable. And obviously a bigger body guy. But if you can't get that, maybe Elijah Moore. People do Alan Lazard. I just ain't never seen Alan Lazard do too much of nothing. Unless the Lions secondary was bad when he was in Green Bay. So if they're going to sit there and wait till the 23rd and a half hour, I'm telling you, that's going to bite them in their ass. You got a quarterback that's dependent on pieces around him being adequate. If something ain't right, he struggles. So either they're going to heavily lean on the run game, and their biggest weakness was what last year? Getting plays, explosive plays outside the hashes. Everything they did was over the middle, over the middle, over the middle. Everything they did was over the middle. They need plays outside the hashes. And that don't necessarily mean you got to run by people. Can you get a receiver that can get off bump and run? Can you get a receiver on third downs? He going to need where he need to be at. Catch the ball, be punctual. Yes, to me, if Michael Thomas, come on. If Michael Thomas, stop. If Michael Thomas is healthy, I just don't understand why not go sign him. His game was never predicated on athleticism. Come here. No. Come here. No. Sit. I'm not playing with you. Sit. Good boy. You've been a good boy. For the first time in your life today, you've been a good boy. Show people a good boy. Come on. Let's go. Oh, you good. But I go the whole different way. This lady followed me. We go a whole scenic route, and she followed me all the way over here. Like, I went out my way. Out my way. At least she pretty though. Shit, I can say that. But yeah, for real. But I'm trying to get my thoughts together. But yeah, he gonna wait till the last minute. Get somebody that can just catch the ball and gonna be where they need to be at. That's gonna be the best thing for Jared Goff. A guy like Elijah Moore, they signed Jerry Jeudy to the Cleveland. I think Elijah Moore's still over there. They signed Jerry Jeudy. They got Amari Cooper. We traded for Donovan Peoples-Jones from over in Cleveland. So Elijah Moore, he was a really good receiver out of Ole Miss. Didn't have quarterback problems in Cleveland. In New York with the Jets. Had some issues in, Deshaun Watson ain't been Watson in Cleveland. So they had some issues there. So, I don't know. Fast receiver, smaller variety, more of a slot in my opinion. But he athletic enough to win on the outside. So he'd get him a dimension where they'd be super duper fast at. I just think he needed an opportunity. Unproven commodity. But I just think the ability and the talent with Elijah Moore there. He said Alan Lazard cold on Madden though. Man, Madden ain't been a good game since since PS3. But he fast though. He is fast. I just ain't never seen him do shit. For real. I've seen the new Packers receivers do more than him. The kid from Michigan State, Watson. I like Romeo Doubs coming out. I knew he was gonna be some good. Too bad his quarterback didn't work out because that boy can throw it. He just had knee issues. Carson, what's his name? I forget his name. That boy can throw it. But yeah, hey, if he get Lazard, at least he can run. At least he can run. So, But yeah, at least he can run. So, but yeah, I mean, you already know Brown Holmes gonna wait until it's too late. But they got the personnel to overcome it. The backs can catch it. Um, Gibbs gonna play some slot this year, play some receiver. You got some tight ends that can catch it. Zestra, Mitchell, Brock, and Laporta can catch it. But you got to understand, if something happened to Jamison Williams, that's your outside receiving game. That's your outside receiving game right there. It's starting to end with him. St. Brown could do a little bit, but you like to move St. Brown around. So that's the problem. But if those receivers are so good, how come other teams don't want them? Well, a lot of times when you talking about Elijah Moore, it's just probably been inconsistent quarterback play. Cooper and Deshaun Watson, they doing well. Amari Cooper is a very quarterback friendly. You trying to get your feet wet in the league, and you ain't an option. You ain't an option. Now, Alan Lazard, you know, Aaron Rodgers. But Michael Thomas, if you're speaking on him, injuries, sour ending in New Orleans. He played through some injuries for Drew Brees, and the organization understood that. But then, it's a business. Juju Smith-Schuster, I don't know. Same as Michael Thomas, bigger receiver, but got some injury issues. But you ain't asking them to come in and be the guy. Now, you might need them to be the guy for a game or two, or 3 or 4, but you just ask them to come in and fill in as the third receiver. So that's what you ask them to do. That's it. And if you ask them to come in and be a third receiver, then you hoping that Darius Fountain, or you hoping, what's the other guy's name? Fountain or Jesus Christ. Somebody else step up. Diamond Peoples-Jones, you hoping that eventually they get their feet wet and step up. Now, if Diamond Peoples-Jones struggles due to Jared Goff and, taking time to break receivers in, that might be something to that. Or maybe it just ain't a good fit in Detroit. But Goff need a lot of time with receivers to get it down pat, and that's the problem. He need a lot of time with receivers to figure it out. J-Mo, you got to remember, it took, and I say this all the time, and this is something that people don't speak of. St. Brown, it took him a minute to get right with Jared Goff. It was Tim Boyle who really it was Tim Boyle who really got Amon-Ra St. Brown cooking. People don't talk about that. He really got his feet wet with Tim Boyle. For sure. His feet got with Tim Boyle. His feet didn't get wet with Jared Goff. And once him and Tim Boyle started cooking, then when Goff came back, him and Goff started cooking. Like they Metro Boomin in Future, they start cooking up. So that's another little thing that people don't really speak on. So Goff, it take a lot of repetitions with Goff for a lot of receivers to get right with him. Josh Reynolds was different because he had already played with Goff in LA. So my humble opinion, I even thought about signing Montavious Bryant, but their skins did that or the Commanders did that when they figured out they wasn't gonna get Jaden Daniels' boy Brandon Ayuk. So, but in my opinion, if you begging for somebody to step up like that, you probably need to step up and get somebody. So Michael Thomas, I don't know if it's the attitude or it's the injuries. I can't really speak to it because I know he had a sour ending with New Orleans. Got a couple homies that's New Orleans fans. But in my opinion, what he brings to the table, if he can still run and catch, his game was never predicated on speed. But this is why I was like, they should have went on and took Hopkins last year. That's why I said that. They should have took Hopkins. Let me see what I got in my mailbox. Anything. They should have took Hopkins. But hey, it is what it was. I know man before, so he too old and he this, that. And I'm like, all right, I feel you. But he still can play. You don't need him to be out there. We don't need if they get Ayuk, I ain't going to be mad about it. But they don't need an Ayuk. They just need somebody that can just possibly step in for a little bit if they need to at the number 1 and 2 spot. That's it. That's it. That's it. But that's all I got for y'all today, man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Peace.